Should all our guilt must be forgot and never brought to mind? Well, now it's New Year, Davy Jones, and a singing old lang syne.
Hello, peoples of the tube. It's been another year. The planet has spun around the sun a full spin, and we find ourselves at the end of the year. It's December 31st. I'm absolutely not filming this a couple of days in advance. It's December the 31st. Welcome to the end of the year. Welcome back to what has become an annual thing for reasons I don't know, where I make a video and I tell you about the year that's just been. Sewage used to do this, and then he kind of stopped and I kind of started around about the same time, and now this has just become a thing that I do. It's tradition, it's in my contract, so here I am. And as years go, 2021 has been one of them. I can 100% say that the year 2021 happened. It began at the end of the year 2020. It's ending now, just at the start of the year 2022, and it just sort of occupies that space in between those 2 years. What's been happening in the world this year? It's just been more COVID, isn't it? It's just that's just gone on the whole year. It was pretty much all last year. It was like, you know what? I missed a little bit at the start of the year. I didn't really have myself going properly. I was just sort of, localised in a few little places. Let's hit the ground running this year and just do a whole COVID year, a full year of COVID-ness. So that was, that's it. We just live in permanent COVID times now. Will that ever end? I don't know. I mean, I hope so, but who knows? I mean, I feel like that's it for general world events. That just kind of occupies everything. There's probably been other things like politics. Politics, I don't like. Bad. I went recently. I was in London, and I saw 10 Downing Street. Really underwhelming Downing Street. The gates are on the end, and you only sort of see in sort of through the bars and off to the side, slightly tucked behind a building, and it's just not all that. The only thing that I thought was they're not very they're quite cheap houses that they're built. They're rather sort of cobbled together. The only thing I thought was quite interesting was they've got these bollards when the cars drive in. They go through the gate. There's a sort of stretch, and then there's a couple of bollards, and they just sort of chuckle off. They don't seem to be on rails. I've seen bollards that sink into the ground. I've seen that before, but these ones just sort of dance off. That's quite cool. That's the only cool thing about Downing Street right now, is that they've got some nifty bollards. I think you might know by this point that sport isn't my thing, so I'm not going to talk much about it. The Olympics happened this year. They were supposed to happen last year. They happened this year. Didn't watch them. I don't think I've ever watched the Olympics, but they happened. I hope if you watched them that you enjoyed them. How did we do? How did you do? I don't know, and I'm not looking it up because I just don't care, really, to be honest. The Olympics. This has also been a year of music, I assume. Here's the thing. I'm getting on a bit now. I'm not in my first flush of youth anymore. I've slightly lost touch with the modern music. I could not tell you a single song from this year. It worries me because that feels like a real sign that I've gotten old, that I just don't know modern music. I mean, I was never great to start with. When I was a teenager, at least I was around enough young people that I kind of absorbed it through osmosis, and I remember a lot of the songs from then. I kind of, to a lesser degree, but still a bit, was able to keep track when I was at uni. Since I've left uni, more and more over time, I know less and less. Usually, there'll be a song from a year, and I'll maybe hear it for the first time the next year or the year after. That's generally the case. So I know some songs from 2019. Maybe I know a song or two from last year. This year, no idea. I don't know. I don't know what happened this year in music. Who is currently the popular artists? I don't know. I don't know. And this year in music, sadly, we lost Michael Naismith. This is the extent now my music in terms of up-to-dateness. Michael Naismith this year of the Monkees died. It's just Mickey Dolenz now on his own, so that's kind of sad. After that happened, which was like this month, so it's recent enough that I remember it. After that, I've been listening to some more of the music. I only really knew 2-3 of their songs. That's quite a lot of good stuff. If you like music that is not current, which is most music if you think about it, if you like a bit of 60s slightly manufactured pop, but actually it's a lot better than the critics of the time were giving it credit for, give them a listen. They're quite good. There's some good music. In fact, actually, Michael Naismith wrote a lot of really good songs for them. So, that's the only thing I can tell you about music this year. We lost a monkey. The TV has been on. There's been things broadcast. Doctor Who. We got Doctor Who this year. We do get Doctor Who most years, but it feels like we don't, because last year we had Doctor Who right at the start of the year. Then nothing until New Year's Day, which was this year, actually. That's a thing. That episode was this. What was it? Revolution of the Daleks. That was this year. That just happened this year. I mean, it's going to be a year ago tomorrow, but that doesn't feel like that happened. That has aged horribly because of certain cast members. We're not going to talk about that really, because I feel like I'm not qualified to talk about it. But Doctor Who cast has not been an area that has done well this year. We're gonna push past that, but Doctor Who this year, I thought it was pretty good. I got where's my you've seen my passenger mask already, but yeah, we had this guy, we had the passenger. I am passenger, I go under glass. I'll try not to mess my hair up too much, because I did spend a bit of time trying to make myself look presentable today. So that was Doctor Who. That was my impression of the entirety of Doctor Who Series 13, Flux. I thought it was pretty good. A bit in places. I think Chibnall kind of tries to do too many things at once and never quite nails any of them, but there was a lot to enjoy in Series 13. Episodes 2 and 4 were particularly highlights. Episode 1 didn't really do much for me because it was all set up. But yeah, on the whole, I like that. I like Doctor Who this year. There's other bits and pieces that I've watched. A lot of it, once the year's gone by, it's kind of hard to be like, was that this year? Like, that serial about the Pembrokeshire murders, was that this year? Or was that last year? I don't remember. The thing with Russell Tovey, where years later he remembers this girl that him and his friend killed and buried in the woods. That was definitely last year. That was last year, because that was Halloween last year. That was good, but we can't really talk about that because that's this year. Did I talk about that last year? I don't think I did. That was good. We didn't have an Agatha Christie this year, did we? Usually most years we get one about Christmas time. There's a new Agatha Christie adaptation. I don't think we had one this year. Star Trek. Gosh, what's going on there? For the first time ever with Discovery, I was watching new Star Trek as it was being made. Now I can't. They've taken it. It's gone. Netflix. No, we're not doing that anymore. We're HBO Max is going to come here. Not HBO Max. What is it? Paramount Plus. I don't know. It's one of the streaming services that I don't have. I'm not paying extra for one show, so I guess I'm just not going to watch Star Trek anymore. That kind of sucks. I was already struggling because all the other ones are on Amazon Prime, which I also don't have. So, I say all the other new ones, so Lower Decks, which you have to wait like a year for. And so, I like Star Trek Lower Decks, but it's just, I'd like to watch it properly. I might get the DVD at some point if it gets a bit cheaper, which is probably what I'm going to have to do with all the other shows now, because, like I said, none of them are on Netflix. All the old Star Trek's still on Netflix, if you live in the UK. I finished Deep Space Nine. That was a big TV thing for me this year. I know the show finished 20 plus years ago, but for me it's just finished and I'm sad I miss it. There's talk of getting remastered for a Blu-ray release. I really hope it is. I will buy that and I will watch the whole thing again if they do that. I would love a high definition remastering of Deep Space Nine. It's the best Star Trek. I've also almost finished Voyager and I've got less than one season of Voyager left to see. And then it's Enterprise, I guess, and then I don't know, I'll have to try and find all the rest of the new ones. So yeah, so Star Trek, if you're a Star Trek fan in the UK, tough luck, I guess, watching the new ones. You can't. Certainly not legally. So enough about TV. We're going into movies next, so in this interim between those two things, I got a Blu-ray player for Christmas. I can now watch Blu-rays. I have 114 episodes of Doctor Who on Blu-ray currently, and now I can watch them. I've been buying these since the summer, and now I can actually watch them on my Blu-ray player. It's great. I've had a test run watching a DVD on the Blu-ray player. All I've got on Blu-ray currently are the Doctor Who sets, which for the most part aren't actually in high definition. But you know what? It's nice to have, and there's all these extra things on the sets. I was going to say on the DVDs, on the discs to watch. So I think it's worth having. But I've also got the Cornetto trilogy, the Edgar Wright's trilogy of films, and I have got Wes Anderson's Moonrise Kingdom. That's my Blu-ray collection. I've got 4 films and 5 box sets of Doctor Who. So that's going to be fun. I can watch all of those. I can still watch all my DVDs. They all look slightly better now when you play them on the Blu-ray player. So that's cool. That's exciting. That's a thing that happened. But yeah, movies. The cinema was a thing again this year. Last year, I saw 2 new movies in the cinema. I was at the cinema a total of 6 times last year. That is, I think, the least I've been to the cinema in a single year since I started going to the cinema at the age of like 7. And that makes me sad because I love going to the cinema. I love seeing a film on the big screen. It's one of my favourites. I'm really into film, just watching a film. It doesn't have to be a good film, I just want to go and see a film. So this year, what all did I see this year? I saw Godzilla vs. King Kong. It's alright, I guess. Black Widow. I mean, not really into Marvel, but I went to it because it was on. I saw Top Gun. It's not a new film, I know, but my cinema were re-showing it, I think, because there's a new one coming out, so they're showing the old one. I went to it, I had a fun time. It's a cheesy, stupid 80s movie. But yeah, that was fun. I saw a film called Our Ladies. I think this is my favourite film of the year. I like these sort of small scale. It's a Scottish film, which all adds points because like my favourite film a couple of years back was that one Beats, which is about raves in Edinburgh in the 90s. This is also about Edinburgh in the 90s. I think that this may be my favourite topic, is Edinburgh in the 90s. Young people in Edinburgh in the 90s doing things that they probably shouldn't be doing. That is a very niche genre, but like that's the second year in quite a short stretch that my favourite film has been about that. So, I don't know, draw your own conclusions. Our Ladies, great film. I recommend checking it out. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I've already told you what it's about. There's not really much else to it, but it's good. It's good. It's a lot of fun. We had a new James Bond film this year. The last, I would imagine, film with Daniel Craig as James Bond. I've only seen, up until this point, 3 James Bond films. I've seen You Only Live Twice, I've seen Moonraker, which would lead me to believe that James Bond is a space-based franchise. It's a science fiction series, because both of those films involve stuff happening in space. I've also seen Casino Royale. So that's it. That's all the Bond films I've seen. I saw the new Bond, No Time to Die. I saw it at the cinema. Yeah, I quite liked it. I thought it was good fun. I mean, James Bond, as you can probably guess, isn't really my thing, but I enjoyed it. I had a fun time. Maybe I should go back and watch some of the other Bond films. Maybe I shouldn't. Who knows? We had Dune this year, which it's all right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of stuff in there that even though they've split it into 2 films this time to avoid the issues that the first film had, there's some stuff that the first film managed to feature, like explanations for the guys with the weird black dots on their mouth. Apparently that's like a whole thing. I've not seen the original Dune film, I've not read the book, I've not seen the TV miniseries. Dune, it was good, it was fine, it felt like it had a few things that they could have done with sticking back in there, but they didn't. But yeah, it's fine, you know, for what it is. I had an alright time watching it. I have a friend that was really, who's liked the book and has seen all the other versions of Dune, and he was very excited to see Dune, and he liked it, so that's, it seems that it has pleased the fans. Maybe it has pleased that fan. So that's good. We've got a new Wes Anderson film this year, and I've been wanting to see Wes Anderson in the cinema for years and years and years. I missed The Isle of Dogs. It came to my cinema for a week. I checked the brochure the day after it had left. I was like, oh no, I missed it. And what can I do? Nothing. It's gone forever. I've still not seen that film. It's one of a very small number of Wes Anderson films I've not seen. So yeah, I heard the new film was going to be released like 2 years ago. I heard about this. I was like, oh, I'll go and see that. And then COVID happened and it got delayed. And then it It finally turned up in the cinemas towards the end of this year, and I went to see it, and yeah, it was good. It's the most Wes Anderson-y film ever. It's like he's taken all of his tropes and he's condensed them. It's probably got the least story of any of them. It's just 3 little short bits with some linking stuff. But you know what? That's fine. I don't care. It's very enjoyable. It's just got all the stuff that you like. That Wes Anderson-y goodness. It's just something I enjoy that vibe, that whole thing. I like it. We also got a new film this year from Edgar Wright. Interestingly, these are the people who are in my very small Blu-ray collection, is Wes Anderson and Edgar Wright. I think they're probably my favourite modern day directors. I just like their styles. Edgar Wright put a new film out. It was Last Night in Soho. I thought it was great. I really, really enjoyed it. I think that might also be a contender for my favourite film this year, favourite new film. It was really good. It was I think, I'm not sure. I've heard some people weren't so into it. They thought it was maybe a bit played out, but I really liked it. I thought I liked there's a mystery to it. I liked all the little details that all kind of come together, because that's always kind of a thing. The editing in the sequence. I mean, this girl. If you don't know what the film's about, this is basically this girl who's living in Soho, and she's sort of kind of psychic-y, and she's witnessing things that happened in the 60s, and she kind of lives sort of vicariously through the events lived by this girl about her own age back then. And we see her kind of in, but not in, this sort of 60s event, but like she's in the mirror and the actual girl we see, and it's just, the editing is so good. We can cut back and forth between the two girls. I just thought it was amazing. I really, really liked that. So yeah, either Our Ladies or Last Night in Soho for my favourite film this year, because that was just really, really good. I really enjoyed that one. We had a new version of West Side Story this year, which I also saw. I love the original film. I only saw it quite recently. I think either this year or last year. Since this lockdown started, I watched it on, I think it was on Netflix, and I watched it there. Loved it. I love old films, the sort of look and feel of them anyway. So that was always going to be something I'd enjoy. The new one has plus points. There's more substance to the relationship between Tony and Maria. That's good. There's a character in the original one called Anybody's, and I remember watching the original one and thinking, if this was made nowadays, that character would be a trans man. In the new version, Anybody's is a trans man, so well done on that. That's progress. Downsides, and it's a big one, Ansel Elgort. That's not oops. Again, I feel underqualified to discuss this, but I think the film would probably have benefited from him not being in it. Would it have been possible to refilm it because he's the main character? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't work in the film industry. Generally, when they cut a character out with reshoots, it's not the main character. They would have had to refilm a lot. I don't know how feasible that would have been. It was a really good film, but that's unfortunate. And then right at the end of the year, I saw it on the 28th, I think, of December. Ghostbusters Afterlife. I've been waiting for that one for a while as well. I've always really liked Ghostbusters. I used to watch the cartoon, reruns of the cartoon when I was little. Loved that. I always want a toy of the car, which I've ordered myself the Playmobil Ghostbusters car. I am still 7 years old, I guess. I'm super excited for that. But yeah, I love the cartoon. I used to have little action figures from the cartoon. Then I saw the second film before the first one. I loved it. I think actually I'm in a position where I'm able to really enjoy the second film because I didn't see the first one first. Everyone was like, oh, the second film is just a rehash of the first one. Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's bad. I like it. I like the second film. The first one, then I saw, and obviously, great film. Love it. 2016 Ghostbusters. Do you know what? It's a shame that everyone, that certain brand of people jumped on the Ghostbusters are women. Disgraceful. Because that took over the discourse so much that the fact it wasn't a good movie kind of passed everyone by. It just wasn't a good movie. I don't care who's playing the Ghostbusters. You can have a goldfish could play Ghostbusters. If it's a good movie, I'll enjoy it. It wasn't. It just wasn't a good movie. There's a lot of people that are still really angry about Ghostbusters 2016. I've seen it once in the cinema. Honestly, I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it. I was like, well, that was a film, and I've never gone back to it. I've got no interest in revisiting it. It wasn't for me. But But honestly, I'm quite glad it was as bad as it was, because it meant that we got this film, and I really liked it. It wasn't perfect, Ghostbusters Afterlife. It had its flaws. The last act was very messy. There's a lot of disparate elements that kind of had to in together, and some of them kind of felt like they didn't fully reach their potential. But I'm not going to spoil the film because it's still in the cinemas. There is certain character moments in that last bit that just, it was very special for me. I just liked that a lot. And there's a little post-credit scene at the end that was really nice, and another a mid-credit scene that was just a bit of fun. And yeah, I really, really liked that. Particular highlights of the new material of that. The best character in the new thing was Egon's granddaughter, who was totally I could believe her as Egon's granddaughter. She's just Egon as a little girl. She was great. She was really funny. That's the thing, because, and I think this is why the 2016 one didn't work for me. Everyone is just like, haha funny. Oh lol, a boo dooby doo, a dooby dooby doo. They keep saying dooby dooby doo all the time. I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, in the original one, Egon, deadpan humour. Dan Aykroyd is funny because he's so sincere. Ernie Hudson is he's playing it straight. And Bill Murray is the funny one. And we've got the different types of funny. Egon was always my favourite. I love the deadpan. That was in the cartoon version as well. I love Egon. And so his granddaughter character, like, she's trying to sort of be more personable, and she tells jokes, but with a completely blank, sort of serious expression, and they're terrible jokes, and just very sort of, what do you call a fish with no eyes? A fish? Yeah, I liked it a lot. And like I said, I bought myself the Ghostbusters car, the Playmobil one from the original film, so that's going to come in a couple of days. It's missing a few pieces, so I'm getting in touch with Playmobil to see if they can send me the bits that I'm missing. But yeah, so that was the most recent film I saw, so I just saw it like a couple of days ago, and I'm still excited for that. My film club came back again this year. After Christmas it went on a long break again, then returned at the tail end of the year. There was an Alfred Hitchcock season. They did Psycho, I missed that, but I saw Rear Window, which I think was my favourite one. I saw The Birds, which was pretty good, and I saw Marnie, which was absolutely horrible. I do not recommend Marnie. And they did sort of a double billing of Hitchcock and a linked non-Hitchcock film. So with Rear Window, we had a film called The Red Road, which is another Scottish film. Great, like really, really good film. It's from the mid-2000s. It's got Tony Curran from Vincent the Doctor. It's really good. I don't recommend watching it if you're uncomfortable with sex scenes, which I am a little bit, but I sort of powered through it because otherwise it was a great movie. That doesn't spoil the movie in and of itself. It's just not my thing. But yeah, really recommend that film. That's really good. With The Birds, we watched a film called Them, which is about giant ants. I don't know if you know this. I don't like ants. I don't like them. I don't like ants. Ants, don't like them. So, yeah, that was horrible. I mean, it was a good film, but I didn't like the ants. And then after Marnie, we watched a film called Magnificent Obsession, which was, what was that film? Just absolute twaddle. That was definitely the weakest installment of the three that I went to in the Hitchcock season, because Marnie was horrible, and Magnificent Obsession was just stupid. It was a stupid film. It wasn't a magnificent film. It was very silly. But yeah, then we had an Ernst Lubitsch season. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I missed, I think, again, the first installment. A couple of weeks ago, I went to see The Shop Around the Corner, which has James Stewart from It's a Wonderful Life and from Rear Window, and it's got Frank Morgan, the Wizard of Oz from The Wizard of Oz. They're in the film. Oh, it's lovely. It's basically, apparently, because I've not seen You've Got Mail, but You've Got Mail is a vague retelling of the same core concept of The Shop Around the Corner. It's these two people that know each other IRL are in communication with each other in a text-based communication by letters in this film, and they don't know that it's each other. That's basically the film, and it's just a sweet little film. I really liked it. And then the other night, actually the same day as I went to see Ghostbusters, we had another film called Angel, which is about a diplomat's wife that almost has an affair, and that's it. These are I really like both of these films because everything's very small scale. The stakes are just almost non-existent. it's just, you get these characters and you get to have a little look at them and see what they're all about, and you're like, yeah, I care about what's going to happen to these people, even though what's happening to them isn't terribly important. The next film in the Lubitsch season, which is next year, I'm going to miss probably because I'm going to be away. But there you go. If my holiday gets cancelled because of more lockdowns and the theatre hasn't closed, then I'll go and see that. We'll see. So what about you, Deborah? What have you been doing this year? That's likely what you might be asking right now. I've had a year. Things have been happening. There's been new things in my life. A lot of them I've catalogued in my videos. I got a new bed at the start of the year. I got my toothbrush, which I've had for a while, electric toothbrush, finally died, and I got a new one. A lot of things I've had for a long time getting replaced. My friend Hannah had a hen party again. I made a video about that. What have I not made a video about? I started HRT in the summer. We're finally making some progress there. That's exciting. Physical changes are now noticeable, slightly. So yeah, exciting times ahead. Next year, more. Also, I've started going for a thing where they fire lasers at your face, and that hurts a lot, but that's useful. I'm seeing some good results from that. These are things that have been happening. I haven't made a video about that because it's, I don't know, I feel like it's an aspect of my life that doesn't really need to be talked about that much in a video, but it's the end of the year. I thought I'd catch you up on that in case you're wondering how things are going transitionally. They're going fine. Life transitionally, less so. Still not in a great situation, but we're working on it. So aside from videos about those life things, what else? My videos this year, I'm back with a vengeance. I kind of came back towards the end of last year once I got a new computer and was able to use this camera, and everything was a lot easier to do all of a sudden. And I've made some videos. I've done a lot. I've just about managed a video a week. There was a couple of months in the spring I took a bit of a break, and this month I didn't make anything until Christmas Eve. But yeah, I've made a lot of videos. I think I've probably made over 40 videos this year. Some of them have been alright. My viewership has been interesting because I've had people kind of appearing and becoming regular viewers and then just disappearing again, and it's a shame because there was a very nice family from Australia that were coming for a while and stopping by and leaving some nice comments, and I was enjoying that. They seem to have disappeared. I don't know. I was watching their stuff as well. Don't know where they went. If you're watching this one, leave me a comment. I miss you. I like the interaction. There's a strange character called Lord Coronavirus, or it wasn't coronavirus. It looks like coronavirus. I'm sorry, I don't know. That's just what I see. They also seem to have stopped leaving comments. They turned up towards the start of the year when I did my Doctor Who Dimension Smash follow-up. Seemed to have disappeared. So yeah, for a while, I seem to have built up. That was quite one of the things that kept me sort of trickling along, making videos every week, was that I was getting pretty frequent comments, and I was like, this is nice, I'm enjoying the feedback. It's kind of tapered off again. My 15 minutes of attention have ended, I guess. But we still get a bit of enough viewers that it's worth me making a video for New Year still. So hello, all of you. Leave a comment. I like seeing what people are thinking. So top videos this year, I would say Dimension Smash 3. It was a very silly one, but it was fun. It was a bit of fun. I always like doing them. And it was nice to get Sewage back for a video because for the most part this year, Sewage has been very absent. I don't want to tell you, we've not fallen out, he's just very busy. In fact, he's appeared more in my videos through stock footage this year than he has in person. I'm getting old clips and sticking them in videos and pretending I still have like co-stars. It's just me nowadays. I'm on my own. So that was good because it was nice to have proper real Sewage. The donut was a particular favourite of mine this year. It was just a silly little video, but I liked the special effects and I liked the time travel aspect. I hate predestination paradoxes. So it's funny to me that that's a video I'd make. I like that. That's funny. We had Detectives 8 at last. The Detectives wait is over, except it's not Detectives 8. Sewage wrote a Detectives 8. I think I've said this in a video already this year. Sewage wrote Detectives 8 years ago. I filmed some of it. He had a lot of stuff in it, and he just was never doing it. And it just got put on hold. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to make some random other video and call it Detectives 8. It's actually, Detectives 8 is based on a line from, a video a long time ago, one of my Christmas videos, I think. And JC and Evil Twin are talking, and Evil Twin's like, "Oh, what if we make a video where it's like the like Cluedo, and you're like, are you Miss Scarlet?" And she says no, and then JC's like, "Wait, what sort of video is that? That's a punchline. So just, are you Miss Scarlet? No, ha 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 ha. That's not very funny, Evil Twin." So basically, I don't remember what video that's from now, but I rewatched that video. I was like, I should just make that. I should make that as a video and call it Detectives 5. So I did, and that is Detectives 8, sorry. But then Sewage was upset. Sewage, I don't think, has seen the new Detectives 8. But he's like, "Oh, why didn't you make my Detectives 8? I was like, "Because I tell you what, why don't we make a video about how we didn't make your Detectives 8? And it can just be a little bit, and we can do and he's not filmed that. So I don't know what to tell you, Sewage. If you filmed stuff for me, your stuff wouldn't get cancelled. That's still, I've not filmed anything for Detectives 8B, as it's tentatively called. I'd like to make Detectives 8B, but I can't. Also, other videos I didn't make this year was cow lactations. No one watched the Ohmydinosare unfinished video showreel. I guess no one cares about videos I've not made. People care little enough about the videos I have made. But yeah, I did a video this year where it's just bits and pieces of videos that I started filming and never finished, which I thought was really interesting, but apparently no. But I brought up, I started filming a video called Cow Lactations, and Goomba was going to be in it, but Goomba just is never free to film. I cannot get Goomba. So yeah, that video just is on hold. If you would like, I'm not talking to Goomba, I'm talking to anyone watching this. If you want to be in my video for free, because I'm not going to pay anyone for this, because I have a budget of nothing. If you would like a free appearance in my video, get in touch. It's a stupid bit part in a bad video, but I want to finish it and I don't want to play the character myself. So let me know. And maybe you can be in Cow Lactations, and maybe I'll finish it, because it's almost done. It just needs like 4 or 5 lines with some other character. Let me know! Yeah, so Cow Lactations, that didn't happen. What else have we got written down here? Dinosaur. That was a video I quite like. Vivian Smith sings a song. I just quite enjoyed that. I think the editing doesn't quite work so well, because we've got a high angle like a CCTV, and we've got a sort of frontways angle looking directly at Vivian, and those two marry together quite well, but there's a third angle that's sort of sideways on, and because my hands weren't really going to be in frame unless I lifted them up to my face, I just didn't really act with my hand, I just kept them down, and it makes the edits quite obvious when Vivian's doing this and it cuts to sideways and just nothing, no hands. But other than that, I really like that. I think that's a really fun video. And the last video I want to bring up, and it's a nothing video, is JC and Evil Twin, the shop. And it's a very short bit. The whole joke is that there are Tweedles in Llandudno, and that the brush was dressed as a Tweedle one day. That was it. That was a video. The only reason that is one I'm particularly pleased with is because I spent ages phonetically training myself to say Llanfair Pach Gwyn Gich Gogorich Gwyn Drobu Llan Silio Gogogoch, and I'll be honest with you, I need to be looking at it to say it. I need like the phonetic written down, but I said it. As far as I can tell, that's no one gave me any feedback, so maybe I said it really badly. Let me know. Is it pronounced Llanfair Pach Gwyn Gich Gogorich Gwyn Drobu Llan Silio Gogogoch, or am I really butchering that? I don't know. But I mean, that's about it. I quite enjoyed doing Story Corner this year. I brought that back with a slightly longer story split into 5 chunks. That was quite good fun. I don't know if anyone really else other than me liked that, but I enjoyed that. I had a fun time with it. But no, that's it. So yeah, Christmas has been, it's New Year, the whole year, it happened. There was a year and it's been, and now it's an old year. And here comes the new year. What will it bring? I don't know. It hasn't happened yet. Let me know what happens next year in the comments. I'll see you next year. I don't know what the next video is going to be or when. I have the footage for a 3rd hot gossip. I feel like I want to put more stuff between those, because I filmed 3 back to back and it's the same video 3 times. But we'll see. We've got stuff coming up next year. Stick around. Don't be a stranger. Until then, thank you for watching and have a nice year.
What's that playing on the radio? Why do I start swaying to and fro? I have never heard that song before. But if I don't hear it anymore, it's still familiar to me, sends a thrill right through me, 'cause those chords remind me of the night that I first fell in love too. And those magic changes, my heart arranges a melody that's never the same, a melody that's calling your name, and I beg you please come back to me. Please return to me, don't go away again. Oh, make them play again. The music I want to hear is once again you whisper in my ear. Oh, my darling, I'll be waiting by the radio. You'll come back to me someday, I know. Been so lonesome since our last goodbye. Still not singing as I cry, oh. While the bass is sounding, while the drums are pounding, beatings of my broken heart will rise to first place on the charts.
And will it be a nice year? I hope so.
Traffic on the hour. Traffic on the hour. Traffic on the hour. Traffic on the hour.